Should you eat less fruit, and are yoghurts just full of sugar? That's low-fat yoghurts. Anyway, over the next 3 to 5 minutes, I'm going to be talking about fruit, yogurt. Came up yesterday in our one of our Q&As, so I thought I'd just jump on here and talk about that. As if one person's thinking it, always more people are thinking it. So, just on our way to morning sessions, accountability challenge done this morning, where we set our expectations for the day. So, good morning, Jane. How are we doing? So, had a question yesterday with someone just starting on their kickstart, and they said that they've been told in the past by, in terms of diabetes, dietitian, hey Cheryl, that fruit's really high in sugar. So they put some banana in their porridge, but they said that's just sugar. Okay, what about orange? That's sugar. Then they said, what about grapes? That's sugar. I said, what about apples? That's sugar. And they said, it's all just sugar. And then I said, what did they tell you to eat? And she said, just less sugar. Oh, so she just kind of left that meeting feeling like there's not much you can really do. So she joined a few apps, tracking apps, Weight Watchers, all that stuff. And she was like, I didn't understand. How crazy is this? I didn't understand how the dietitian was saying that's just sugar. Yet when I went to Weight Watchers, or Slimming World it might have been, they said it is fine if I didn't cook it. So I purposely didn't cook it and put it in. And then I was told it was just sugar. And she was like, I'm just kind of fed up of being told I'm doing it always wrong. And this is why I did that talk on Wednesday, if I'm honest. If you haven't seen that talk on Wednesday, do comment with talk below and I'll send it over to you. If you've commented already talk and I haven't yet quite got round to you, do comment again. Don't think it's like rude. I'm just getting round into the comments because I want you to see it if you're in that kind of space. Anyway, so let's talk about fruit. Should you eat less of it? Like, really, the grand scheme of, for most people, fruit is the last of their changes, problems, obstacles that they need to change. Yes, you can eat too much fruit. Like, you can eat too much anything. Eat too much broccoli and you'll be in agony. But you can eat too much fruit, yeah, but it's more about questioning why. Why are you eating too much fruit? Is it because it's quote-unquote healthy and you leave it out on the side and you eat it when you're bored? That's normally the case. That's the only case where I've seen that fruit has made quite a big impact. Or you're chucking loads into your smoothies, whereas if you actually didn't blend it and you put it all out into, on the table and you actually looked at how much fruit was there, like, you would be like, wow, I wouldn't eat that much, but yet I blend it and it all goes. Now, so why does fruit get a bit of a bad name? Because, 1 minute I eat loads of fruit and veg, next minute like, no, fruit's full of sugar. Fruit does contain sugar. 50% of it is what we call fructose, the sugars in fruit. Now, fructose is very sweet, hence why fruit can be quite satisfying. Now, the other part of this is that it contains lots of fibre, so generally it's more filling. However, food manufacturers have found out that fructose is naturally very sweet, sweeter than glucose, and it's also very cheap, cheaper than glucose. So if they get that, and they put that in Coca-Cola, whatever, cakes, biscuits, you can get a very sweet hit from it. Now then the researchers might look at it and go, that means that people who have high fructose intakes tend to have fatty liver disease. But, does that mean fruit's bad? But you've got to think that fructose are put into these products at high amounts, coupled with sugar and fat, not coupled with fibre and whatever you would eat with yogurt. Speaking of which, talking about yogurt, she was like, I then put yogurt into my app, I think it was Noom. She said, then it was red. So I was like, well, can I not eat fruit and yogurt anymore then? And I was like, wow, no wonder people are absolutely so confused. We're kind of missing the point, really. Like, fruit and yogurt, she's been told it's bad, yet if she ate a diet of just fruit and yogurt, she would do very well to overeat on that. Like, there's something else going on, which is what we delved into, our relationship with food. There's lots of other reasons here. Now, So then she said, yeah, it was the yogurt came up full fat. It was natural yogurt, but it was full fat, so it was red. And I was like, wow, this is interesting, because it comes down to portion size and what you have throughout the day as well. There's also maybe some benefits in having full fat Greek yogurt, but I know this from a weight loss point of view. But she was like, it says you don't do a diet on this. Anyway, so are low fat yogurts though full of sugar? Because she said, should I switch to low fat? I didn't want to do that because then the dietitian said they're full of sugar. And I was like, wowzers, blimey, this is like a full circle, isn't it? Hey Pauline, hey Jane, hey Tracy, hey Mina. So let's look at it. So if you think about Greek yogurt, natural yogurt, essentially all as they've done is strain the fat away. That's all it is. And then they're left with a gap. So they say they've strained 20% of the full fat yogurt away because they've got the fat away, right? They trim the fat away. Then they have to pour in more milk, more yogurt to top up the rest. So it's technically higher in protein and carbohydrates naturally, slightly, because they've skimmed away the fat. You've got to put some in the tank, right? If you wanted 2 glasses of water, they need to be level, but one's got squash on top of it. You would need to take away a bit of the water to add the squash in. My point is they need to be level here. So it's not that they've added in sugar, it's that they've added in more milk. Milk contains sugar. However, they are correct when you have like Muller Lights and stuff like that. Yeah, they add in sugars, etc. Some are okay, some are not. Some are quite low in protein. So it's just about being a bit aware of them, okay? And really looking at your total intake with that, the total calories of that, and not looking into the minutiae here. And we can go into GI as well. It's another minutiae one where we can get really caught up in this and make nutrition really confusing. Like, we miss the big rocks here, our relationship with food, why we're eating. Really the reflection of why we're eating. Rather than, well, I can't eat this, I can't eat this. Whenever you see absolutes, yeah, it might work for a little bit, but unless you really understand and be quite critical of why they're absolutes for you, what works for you, it's going to be difficult to maintain. There's going to be eventually where you're going to reach that point where you're like so confused, especially if you're chopping and changing all the time and looking at all these new stuff that jump out. That's why I did that talk. Like I said, if you want that talk, comment the talk below. I will send it over to you, because yes, it's important to know that stuff, because when you know that stuff, you can be quite critical of when you see stuff like that. You can go, well, I can see why they've said it, but here's why it doesn't apply to me. It won't apply to me, and this is what I'm going to do instead. Anyway, it is morning session time, so I will see you later. Have a awesome day. Enjoy the summer. Hopefully we got another day of sun. How grateful were you for that sun yesterday? Because we weren't really expecting it. You kind of enjoy it more. Anyway, enough of me rambling, as I could ramble all day about yogurt and fruit. How can yogurt and fruit cause me to walk around the high street, nearly walk into a post, and that one. And one day it's going to happen, isn't it? Anyway, we're here. We live to tell another day. I'll see you soon. Take care.